Right, there we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to RSF1's the F1, not F1 division, sorry, F2 division. Sorry, my apologies. We started off on a good foot here, haven't we? Yes, good evening to you, and hopefully you are well. I'm by myself for the while, in looking forward to a very good race for the F2 division. Yeah, things have happened. Everyone's all right, but for the time being, it's just me by myself for the time being. And look what we have already. For round number 13 of the season, it is a intermediate start to qualifying in this F2 division. That is going to really throw things around tonight. So yeah, let's hopefully have a good entertaining race ahead as we ride on board with Grunty in the Racing Point. I'm RSF1 Rubens, also known as Michael, and as I said, hopefully we got a good evening ahead of us. So we arrive at Hungary and should be entertaining one. Very different from last week. Obviously last week we were at the British Grand Prix in Silverstone, which is a fast and flowing circuit. This circuit is very tight and twisty. You've got to be high on concentration. Yeah, your car has to be planted. Your setup has to be on point. Nothing can be wrong around this track. Very difficult to overtake. Turn 1 really kind of the only proper overtaking, although overtaking can be done in turn 2 left-hander as well. But with the added rain in this qualifying, as I said, this is going to really mix things up, as Grunty's going to be the first one out. 16 car grid for the time being. And we've already got Alfie, I believe, having a qualifying ban. Either that or he's retired far too early. But yeah, very early going. We begin Q1 as we run on board with Grunty as he heads down into turn 2. This kind of very long left-hander, very bumpy as well. You can see the elevation changes. Got to mind the curb as well, especially in the wet conditions, and then flat up through turn 3. Wet conditions around here, this changes pretty much everything. I mean, the track is, as I mentioned, it's tight and twisty and not much overtaking. Curbs as well can be very tricky, especially this chicane right here. But in the wet, it gets even more worse. So definitely need to have a proper good setup going forward. But Grunty looks very stable in his car at the moment. And then into the final sector. You see the white line as he crossed into the final sector. It's pretty good at the moment. Obviously lap times, we've just got to wait until the times really come through at the moment, because wet conditions, I'm not really sure, to be honest, of what time we could be looking for. As Lukey's actually the first to set a lap. Grunty's teammate with a 27.6. Grunty's lap looks stable, but it's a 28.5. But again, just putting laps on the board, just getting early practices underway. Mega Centurion going quickest on a 27.3. Just behind it is teammate Caesar Wizard, although Hudson's just gone second on a 27.4. Looks like mid-27s for the time being, although track could always improve or even get worse from the way this rain is going. But Steffi Weffy Gamer also on a lap. We're just about to start one now. But here's our championship leader, although he hasn't validated his first lap. Championship leader going into this, Muddy Biscuit. He has a 36-point lead over his nearest rival, Lukey, after his third win of the season in Silverstone. So he's on fine form at the moment. As I said, only picked up his third win, but he's just consistent. He's been in the points every round this season, apart from France, which I believe was wet conditions there. So maybe this could be the Achilles heel of Muddy Biscuit. But yeah, going forward, hopefully he can continue his run of form. Of course, he cannot lose the championship lead, even if he has no points and Lukey gets the win and fastest lap. That still would mean 10 points to Muddy. Let's see if he carries on going through the fast left-hander there. This right hand, I believe this is turn 6 and 7. You've got to be very careful on the curb, and he nearly touched it as well. That's what we call an auto spin curve, basically. As soon as you touch it, especially in wet conditions, you're round. There's nothing you can do to stop it. There's a lot of tracks on this current calendar that have the same effect, and this is one of them as well. Oh, Hardy's an interesting one because everyone else is on intermediates, but he's gone on the full wets. We're interested to see whether that's tactical or it is actually wet tyres. Draco in the Williams has now gone into the 26s, so good lap from him. Evo's dropped it in the Mercedes, and he'll be taking no farther part, so Evo is out currently. We keep riding on board with Money Biscuit as he heads across the line and sets a 27.4. So yeah, Draco's lap in the Williams on a 26.8 is very, very impressive. Grunty's now left the session, I think, and Lukey's retired. Quite a few are retiring now because obviously looking at our top 15, it's only going to lose one driver at the moment. And Alfie's already retired, so Hardy, even though he's on these wet tyres and getting well out of the way, all he has to do is just set a lap and he's through. I'm going to get the stream up in a second. Apologies if there are any comments and I cannot see them, but I'm just bringing up the championship standings. Obviously by myself for the moment, but should be perfectly fine. Milan goes to third on the 27.3. Look at Hardy sliding all over the place. I don't think the wets are what you should be on, but he's going to set a 41.5 anyway. I'm just going to get Grunty back in while I have the time to do so. I think we lost Alfie as well, so I'm just going to apparently I'm not, because my recent players are not coming up at all. The last one to set a time is going to be Magic Mark. Well, Grunty's in anyway. They can just jump back in if they do lag out. Josh is retired as well. Yeah, quite a few retiring. Just got Magic Mark left to go. Right, just going to get up the standings now. Should have it really right in front of me. There we go. And Muddy Biscuit, Magic Marker's invalidated. I just looked up and saw that he invalidated, unfortunately. He just needs to set a lap though, although I do think he goes through. Just Alfie will be taking no further part, and would Evo, because obviously he crashed it earlier on. Points, I'm just going to go over the points. Muddy Biscuit, as I said, championship leader at the moment, 184 points, 38 ahead of Lukey in second, who's on 146. He has a gap to Milan in the Ferrari on 101. So really and truly it's these three for the championship, because we got to start talking about that. We are just gone halfway, round 13 of the season tonight. We've got to start talking about potential championships going on. Yeah, but these three I think realistically are the ones left in it. Dangerous Dan is next on 85 points. He's not here tonight, so again he could drop further away from the front three. Steffi Worthy Gamers on 75 points in 5th. Breezy is 6th on 59, 2 points ahead of Little Sparks on 57, and then Josh on 56. Caesar Wizard on 55. Let's keep an eye on Magic Mark here for the time being. Again, just needs to set a lap, but he's through regardless. Where was I? Hudson up 47. Magic Mark is on 43 points, ahead of Draco on 40. Mega Centurion is on 26 points. He's only just joined the championship. Hardy is on 18 points with Sync Dan on 10. Storage on 10. Shrimper on 6, and Evo yet to score. Just going to get the stream up now. And we can settle down a little bit. Magic Mark comes round to the final corner now. Right, there we go. Stream is now up as Magic Mark goes into the 27.5 and joins quite a tight group actually in the mid 27s there. So pretty solid lap for Magic Mark. The only one else on a lap is Grunty, who's actually just begun a lap, although he is already safely through. Just obviously wants to improve a little bit. It's perfectly fine. Obviously those that missed Silverstone last week in F2 on the Sunday missed quite a cracker of a race actually. That was all really down to strategy and tyre wear. Ended up being Muddy Biscuit winning the race. Second place was Magic Mark in the Williams, picking up his first podium of the season, and he's had a rough start to the season. Let's hope his results now start coming through, which I think definitely has the pace to do so. Third was Steffi Werthy Gamer in the Red Bull. So he's on a pretty good string of results as well. Fourth place went to Milan. Milan's still hanging in there in the Drivers' Championship. Still possible for him to close the gap, but he needs to start beating Muddy and Lukey. Lukey actually didn't manage to score last week, had a very difficult race, so he needs to come right back into it. There's Grunty. And the racer points comes round the final corner. Is he going to get into the 27s to improve? Currently on the 28.5. He does go to the 27s. The 27.2. Very nice from him, and he's done the right thing as well. He's done more laps on one set of tyres, because if this continues, the rain continues for the rest of the qualifying, they've only got 3 sets of intermediates to work with. So, yeah, 1 per session, and that's it. Really got to manage it when it starts raining, especially on this this game currently. Magic Mark also trundling around. Oh, 3 temps up for Magic Mark. Definitely finding a bit more time. Again, he's done 5 laps in his intermediates. And this is kind of really the tactic you want to do, especially when it's raining, whether it's full wets or intermediates. Just fuel up the car, 1 set of tyres, and just keep going round. You'll find the grip, and these tyres kind of grip in, and then you find some more time. It's interesting how that works, but Magic Mark improves to a 27.1. And done multiple laps on his tyres. Again, these two just kind of getting their iron maybe. It's practice for Q2 and Q3 if these are the same conditions. Of course, any practice is well worth it, but of course, it's just these two going round at the moment, so not much action going forward, but we've still got 4 minutes left of Q1. Then we can get to Q2 and bring up the more action again. Chat is very quiet. The quality and sound all good, guys. Any reply in the chat will be good. Grunty cuts over turn 5. Very easy to do because it's such a quick corner, especially in these conditions. Thank you, Easton. So we are going to have 14 in Q2 by the looks of it. I think who's missing? I know we've got Dangerous Dan missing in the Mercedes, which is a big noticeable miss. He normally is quite reliable with the sound. With the turning up, sorry. Chat's distracting me. Magic Mark's all good. I think Grunty's going to go back into the pits, or is he going to go for another lap? He's going back in the pits. Okay. So you two can now retire. We can move on to Q2, I think. Who else is missing? We've got one Haas. No, we've got 2 Haas drivers. 1 Renault, so no Sturridge today, I think. Yeah, no Sturridge today. This is a shame. Rain is staying for all of quali. Wow, interesting. Very interesting from Theo Wysten7 in the chat. Thank you very much for that. But there is Q1, Evo and Alfie. Obviously, Evo crashing halfway through. Grunty leaving the session again. He's having some troubles tonight. Get him back in. Stop leaving, Grunty. And Alfie retired earlier on. I believe he has a qualifying ban, although don't 100% correct me on that. As for the top, ABE Draco in the Williams, setting a 1:26.8. Left because Steffi hadn't retired for me. Okay, fair enough. Slightly confused by that, Grunty, but okay. Ah. Let's see. Right, into Q2 we go. Intermediates once again. So we saw 26s. Ah, let's see. I saw 26s obviously in Q1. Rain looks to be at the same intensity, so again I think 26s could be good, although I think low 27s you're probably in the right ballpark. This would make it interesting for the race if it's dry, because obviously fresh choice of tyres, as Hudson gets completely jumped by about 3 or 4 cars there. Just had to wait for everyone to go ahead of him, and then we've got a Haas up first. Is that going to be Josh? It is going to be Josh. He's going to be the first to set a lap in Q2. As I mentioned earlier, you only get 3 sets of intermediate tyres for the whole weekend. You get a fresh set, I think, for the race. So, 27, that's my dry time. Pretty sure that's not the case, Hippo. I'm pretty sure you can find a bit more time there. Because wet weather's about 3 or 4 seconds slower than a dry, roughly, give or take. Yeah, you only get 3 sets of intermediates throughout the entirety of the weekend. That includes the race. So you've got to be very careful on how you manage this. You can't just go, you know, pop on. It's not like when in the dry, you do your first lap and then you put on a fresh set and then go again. With this, you got to, as I mentioned before, just do multiple laps on this. Find the better grip. You see, it is intermediate conditions, most definitely. You can see the drying or dry piece of track, basically, where Josh is trying to stick to. And he's going to be the first to set a Q2 lap. So here we go. Let's ride on board of him. Heading down to turn 1. It's a very long run down to turn 1 on the first lap. To be interesting goings on. It's a right-hand hairpin. Got to carry the speed as best as you can. Mind the exit. See the wheel spin that he got. Then down into turn 2, which is, as we mentioned before, this also has that curb on the inside. You do not want to touch that at all. Lap through turn 3, and it's turn 4 and 5. Turn 4 is the right hand kink just at the top of the hill here, and then turn 5, turn the car in. Hope it sticks, but it does not for Josh. He unfortunately invalidates on the exit. Then we got turn 6, the right hander. Turn 7 and 8, the chicane. Got to be careful on these curbs. Don't want to rumble them off too much. Turn, where was I? Turn 8 and 9, I think it is. And turn 10 and 11, flowing through this middle sector. Get the exit right on the end. Oh, it's very easy to run wide. Of course, we're on board with Hardy right now. Turn 11, I think this is. Or it might be turn 12, actually. 90-degree right hand. And now this corner, you see the bump there. You've got to be very careful when turning in and braking, because it can unsettle the car completely. But he's taking that very nicely. He's just trying to wind himself in by the looks of it, Hardy. And it's going to be a 28.1. He's doing a lot of short shifting, a lot of low gear driving there, just trying to get himself wide in. The 2 Alfa Romeos going very quickly. Centurion mid-26s already. And I believe that's the quickest we've seen tonight. Yeah, it is. So Centurion, quickest so far. Millsy, you're welcome to jump in if you want. I am still by myself for the time being. So party is open. Hang on, let me check. Yep, party's open. So if you want to join with me, it's up to you. Yeah, Lukey into the 26 is exactly what he needs to do. Needs to qualify well. But there goes Draco, 26.4. 26.4 improves his PB from Q1 by a few tenths. That could be the track improving, or just they're getting used to the conditions already. But Draco already looks very quick in these conditions. Who's going to be next? Josh is on a second lap. Coming round now into the final corner. Yeah, looks like to be... If you can get the 26s, I'd probably say you're safe unless this dries up. But here comes Josh. He's going to be low 27, 27.1. Goes 6th only, though. Shows how close the field is now. We're starting to bunch up a little bit. Alfa Romeo of Centurion doesn't improve. Hudson goes up to 5th. Sees a Wizard. Went on a slow lap, that one. Who's jumped up? Money Biscuit jumps up to 8th now. Just sneaks into the top 10. Who's on the bubble at the moment? You've got the Alpha Tauri of Little Sparks. Currently in 10th. You've got Steffi and Breezy yet to finish the lap, although Steffi's on the last corner now. The apex of the last corner. Don't run too wide on the exit. And it's going to be the 26s. 26.9 to go 4. So the pace has definitely ramped up overall. Makes me think it's less raining than before, maybe. Potentially. That leave just Breezy in this Renault here. Coming up to turn 5. Again, you can chuck the car in. Hope it sticks. Makes it very nicely. Avoid the curb with the right-hander. Lukey, I think, just jumped up. Someone's jumped up. I think it was Lukey on a second lap. Oh, Centurion's dropped it. Centurion has lost it in the middle sector somewhere. I think we're still on board of Breezy. Yeah, he's dropped it on the exit. And that's really unfortunate for the Centurion. Must have got caught on the curb on the outside. The Centurion is gone. That's why there was a change in the leaderboard. I thought something had moved around a bit. Money Biscuit goes 7th, slightly improves. Teaser Wizard, I think, goes to 3rd, just ahead of Steffi. See where Breezy can go. He's going to be at the low 27s. 27.2 stays 11th. As Milan goes to 3rd. Times all coming in now, because they all just keep going round. Mark improves to 26.6. Steffi goes to 3rd. Time's improving all the time now. And nobody can get near... Well, I say nobody can get near. Lukey's actually gone within 6 thousandths of him. So... And this is just confidence. They're going round lap after lap because it's just confidence. They're gaining where the grip is. You can see it's quite close now. Maybe high 26 might be only just safe. Very good pace going round. O'Hardy into the last corner now. Can he get into the 26s as well? No, 27.1, but goes 8th. Just sneaks into the top 10. So, who's in danger? Sparks and Breezy go in. They may have to put on another set of intermediates. Money Biscuit ain't safe in 9th. RD in 8th, and you got Hudson. Lukey improves to a 26.3. Beats Draco's time by about a 10th. So Lukey's now getting his eye in. 4 laps on his intermediates. And that's kind of the way to do it. Just fuel up the car, do 1 fast lap, turn it down, you know, ERS and fuel, then go again. And repeat the process until you think, well, that's enough. Basically. P-Lop in the chat. How do I join? Never mind, Hush has done it for me. Thank you, Hush. Yeah, do that. Do what Hush says. Yeah, thank you for that. Right, Hudson. It begins in P 7 at the moment. Yeah, this is an Xbox League. Sorry there, P-Lop. Ah, thank you. Thank you for keeping on watching. Hopefully we can be entertaining for you. Hudson. Now, so they need to get in the 26s, I think, really to be just safe. He's right on the cusp at the moment. As he goes through turn 2, then flat out through turn 3. Is he going to be up on his time as he heads through the first sector? He's up by 2/10. Nicely through turn 5. Turn 6. Don't touch the curb on the right hand side. It's almost like a magnet. It's trying to pull you in to the apex. You've got to remember, even in the race, in the heat of battle, do not touch the curb, otherwise it will slide you regardless of what you do. Got 40 viewers at the moment. Jeez. Spiked up. Thank you very much for watching. As we midway through Q2 at the moment. Middle sector from Hudson is pretty good. He's up by 3/10. This will put him relatively safe, I think. As he goes through turn 12 and then the bumper turn 13, you can see the car, and it unsettled him a little bit. Carry the speed through. The car just wants to step away all the time. Into the final corner, you can kind of take a wide apex, but make sure you get the traction on the exit. And it's going to be a 26.8, improves by 3/10 pretty much, to go 5th. But everyone is now on outlaps apart from Steffi and Breezy at the moment. So we need to jump on board with somebody who's about to begin a lap. Well, Grunty's just started one. He's currently 14th in the racing point. Needs to find, well, basically about a second on his previous lap. Ripple gets out the way nicely. There goes Lukey again. Boost by just a little bit. But he's doing it very different compared to everyone else. He's done 6 laps now on his set of intermediates. Doing what he needs to do. It's good strategy as well. Saves himself a completely fresh set of intermediates for Q3. Whereas these guys, those outside the top 10, they're not necessarily wasting a set of intermediates, but then they cannot use a fresh set for Q3. If this stays as wet as it is, well, Grunty's 8/10 up. And this is what fresh tyres does. It just finds you more grip. Obviously Grunty back in the league after he had a little bit of a break away. Sometimes it's good to have that kind of thing. I've done it before myself. You come back and you completely recharge and reset, and he goes up to 4th on a 26.6. That might put him safe. That puts Muddy Biscuit down in 11th. But he is on a lap, as is with everyone else. Muddy is only a 10th and a bit up. He needs to find a bit more in this final sector to make himself a little bit more safer than what he is. Currently in 11th and out. That time for Mega Centurion is a bit awkward in 10th because he's crashed. He won't be taking any part, but and it's weird how it works with this. What does Muddy Biscuit do? Does find a bit more time. 26.6, found almost half a second in the last sector. That's a bit better. Caesar Wizard goes to 8th. But Josh did improve. 26.9, but stays 11th. Is that Milan? Yes, Milan goes to 3rd. Puts himself out of danger. So what do we have? So we got Caesar Wizard in 9th. It's weird how it works. I think it's you have to beat Caesar Wizard's time or something to get in the top 10. It's always baffled me when someone crashes and their time just stays on the leaderboard and you have to beat it. There you go. So Little Sparks on the lap. You've got a racing point about to cross the line of Grunty. Doesn't improve from 5th. Red Bull as well of Hudson, I think. Could improve, but we'll stay on board with Sparks because he's in danger here. But goes to 5th place on a 26.6. Look at all those guys on a 26.6. It's ridiculous. Draco improves to a 26.0. Just kind of seals the deal in a way. Right, so 45 seconds to go. You've got Breezy, Hardy, Josh. Although Josh is in the pits. Josh is done. 12th at best for him. JJ Hudson has invalidated, so he's done for the session. So it's Hardy and Breezy, and Hardy is a few tenths up. Needs to find a bit more to sneak in the top 10. And Hardy just coming to the last corner now. This puts Muddy Biscuit in danger, although look how close it is. It's a 10th from 4th to 9th at the moment. It's ridiculous. Caesar Wizard actually went to 2nd. 26 flat. Hardy does not do enough, but crosses the line just to start another lap. And Breezy is out though in the Renault, 26.8. So it's all down to, well, Hudson's done. He'll start 11th, so it's all down to Hardy to see whether him or Muddy Biscuit goes through to the next round. Or Q3. Not the next round. Sound like a game show host. Sparks goes to 4th, puts himself well out of danger. Good luck from Sparks. What's going on with Muddy Biscuit? Muddy Biscuit is only just a little bit off his time. And he put himself out of reach. Crosses the line and no, stays 9th. It's all down to Hardy now. All eyes, well not all eyes, most of the eyes on Hardy. Because if he beats a 26.6, Muddy, the championship leader, is out. But he's very wide on that curb. Somehow gets away with it. And he's a little bit down on his time. But if he nails this last sector, Muddy Biscuit will be out. Magic Mark goes to 6th. 26.4. And you can see Hardy's trying to fight the car. Round the last corner, takes a tight apex, but does it do enough? No! He slowed! Why did he slow? He definitely braked. Can I have a confirmation in the chat? He definitely braked before the line. And I don't know why he did. Like he may have done it. Ooh. Answers on the postcard. No idea. No idea. Well, there's a situation, which always baffles me, because you got Mega Centurion there. Wasn't improving. It looked like maybe he was. Maybe that's my eyes deceiving me. But there you go. There's your top 9. Because unfortunately Centurion crashed through to Q3. Hudson 11th, Hardy 12th, Breezy, and then Josh all eliminated from Q2. But this is where we head into Q3. And it's intermediates once again. And yep, we have our top 9. We would normally have top 10, but of course that's how it works. If you crash in the session before, then you'll be taken no further part. Who's going to take pole position? Who can take it? We got 2 Williams, a Draco, Magic Mark. We've got 1 AlphaTauri of Little Sparks, 1 Ferrari of Milan. Who's that out first? That's Caesar Wizard. We have a 1 Alpha of Caesar Wizard, 1 McLaren of Muddy Biscuit, 2 Racing Points of Grunty and Lukey, and then we got Steffi, Weffy Gamer in the lone Red Bull. P-Lop, who won the last race? Muddy Biscuit, yes. Correct. Won in Silverstone last time out. Basically got the strategy correct, because that was a safety car affected race. And ended up being, you know, who had pitted and who hadn't. And he pitted at exactly the right time and went on exactly the right tyres. And that was it for him, but he was showing the pace. Deserved that victory. See if he can make it. Back-to-back wins tonight. Also, P-Lop, we have 5 races during the week. This is our F2 division. We have tiers based on pace. 5 in total. Obviously, the F1 division is the fastest on pace, so on and so forth, and then we go down to tier 5. It's F2 tonight. You got the F3 division. No, Eastern, you're F1 actually. Don't lie. You got F3 tomorrow. You got F5 on the Tuesday, F1 on the Wednesday, and F4 on the Thursday. Reason they're not in order is basically because that's what the drivers can do. It's based on what days they can do, and we go majority, rather than, you know, F1 first and so on. That's why it's confusing, and I'm still confused about it. Alright, Caesar Wizard is going to be the first in Q3. This is where the pressure ramps up. Who is going to take pole position? Massive lock up there from Caesar Wizard though, because very close to the curb, but gets away with it. Oh, whoa, and a big slide through turn 3. Don't think it's any wetter than before. Seems to be same intensity of rain, but you can see Caesar Wizard is sliding about all over the place. Oh, and again. Well, thank you very much, P-Lop. Hopefully you enjoy us. Through the middle sector, and it doesn't seem to me that Wizard is either liking the conditions or the car is either that or it's BU set of tyres, and I'm amazed actually on board with him. He's been sliding about so much. I'm amazed he's actually kept on track rather than sliding into the wall. Oh, no traction, that could be it. Yeah, you can see in the throttle movements, as you can see the green bar. Yeah, it's definitely running no traction. That's why he's that's why you can see him sliding about. And a good lap, a 26.8. Magic Mark just behind, and the Williams 26.9. What can the Racing Point of Lukey do? 26.8, 500ths behind Wizard. Money goes 4th. The other Williams of Drake, and now he's been quick all evening. What can he do? 31.4, a slow lap to begin with. Building him up so much, and then he sets a slow lap. Or a banker lap, I guess. Grunty in Racing Point. Back solidly in the top 10. Through the apex. A little bit of a slide on the exit. 27.4. So we were in like 26.4 range in Q2. And again, it's whether these guys have a fresh set to work with. I believe Lukey should have. He did lots of laps in Q1 and Q2 on the same set. As Sparky 27.0 goes 4th. So there's 4/10 covering the top 5, which is very impressive. Not my website. I can't take credit for that. That's Tim and Ike, I believe that is. He's part of our league, who does the standings and also does a meme review, which puts up a lot of laughs. He's a Wizard, 26.3. Wow, fastest lap so far this evening. Raises the bar. But Lukey, just behind him, raises it even more. 26.0 from Lukey. The times are really coming in. The pace is upping. Is that the Williams? 25.6. Wow. Now again, is that track improvement, or is that just an absolute on-it lap from Draco? Either way, very impressive. On 25.6. Smashed it. There you go, guys. Not chasing that lap. Here comes Grunty. Is he going to get the 26s? He does. Goes to 4th. That's a Racing Point 2.4 at the moment for them. Pretty good. Right, little sparks. Slightly improving. Again, these times are just going to come through one after the other. Slight improvement. Stays 6th. 27.0. Muddy Biscuit in 7th at the moment. But I did see it before in France. Maybe it's this wet weather on this game, or is it not as confident with it? And that's the thing with wet weather, especially on this game now. Because last year's Last year's game was, well, in my view, too easy in the rain, especially in full wets. Now it's definitely, the car definitely likes to step out a little bit more, as it should in these conditions, but and the times are a lot slower, as they should be. So, and it's definitely more of an equalizer, more of a level playing field this year in the game, but some people love it, some people don't. Magic Mark's still going round. Little Sparks as well, they're just going back into the pit. Money Biscuit is out. Steffi Weffy Gamer in the Red Bull is late out into the session, but I think he's only got one set of intermediate tyres. Does anyone know in the chat what it is for the race? Because if it's raining in the race, that would be interesting. But I believe you've only get one more set of into some wets for the race. Oh, it's dry. Okay, fair enough. So dry is interesting because you then get a free choice of dry tyres to select, including the top 10. Now, for those obviously new to F1 or don't know the rules or so on and so forth, if it's dry and you get into the top 10 into Q3, you start on the tyres that you decided to go through Q2 on, whether that be the softs or the mediums, obviously the softs being the quicker of the two. But if it's raining, then everyone has a free choice of tyres to go on, including the hard tyres. Now the hard tyres are, as you'd expect, they're not as fast, but they last a lot more longer. The gamble of it is, if you start on them, they're very, very difficult to kind of warm up, kind of grip up, basically. So if anybody in the top 10 starts on the hards, then massive gamble or very big confidence to keep them going. But it really depends who else or what else everyone goes for. Anyway, back to this qualifying. Let's continue on board with Steffi because he's going to be the next person to cross the line now. Purple middle sector, but I think that still means like he's gone quickest that he can go through that sector. It's not quicker than our current quickest of Abe Draco. And of course he doesn't really have a time to go on, neither do I. So let's see what he can do. Looks pretty good on the times. Not going to challenge Draco, but it goes third though. So very good from Steffi on his first lap of the evening. Lukey improves and just misses out on pole there. How much is that? Is that wow, 14 hundredths of a second. I couldn't do maths, so I had to check. Grunty, I think, improved. Yes, he did. The 26.6 goes to 5th. Money Biscuit crossed the line. He did not improve. Milan goes to 5th. Same as Steffi. His one and only lap so far goes to 5th. Little Sparks is just starting a lap. So we've got the Caesar Wizard. Limping a bit up. Still some time left, so they've still got plenty of time to keep going round. I'm going to find any more improvements. The rain's still roughly around the same as it has been all evening. Caesar Wizard goes ahead of Steffi, goes to 3rd. Good job from Caesar Wizard. But Steffi is on another lap, so they're going to swap positions back again, I think. Because Steffi is found another 10th. And I love it like this. They do lap after lap after lap, finding the time, just improving all the time. It's again all about confidence and grip you're going to get here. As Steffi crosses the line and, yeah, goes back into 3rd. Anything you can do, I could do better, I think these two are going on for. They got the 2 racing points. Grunty, no, Lukey was 1st, doesn't improve. Grunty goes up to 5th. Money Biscuit 7th, so Money Biscuit currently lower end of the top 10, which not really wants to be. Milan is coming across now, just ahead of the Williams of either Draco or Magic Mark. That was Magic Mark because it's starting a lap. 30 seconds to go. Draco's starting another. Little Sparks. Relentless. Goes to 6th. Ahead of Grunty, Muddy and Magic Mark. We've got 15 seconds to go. Caesar Wizard is just going to time it absolutely perfectly, I think, for one final run. It'll be the last one to cross the line. So the first is Steffi, and he's found another 2/10. Gonna run out of breath by the time we get to the end of this. But it is brilliant stuff. Oh, and he's dropped it. No! Too eager on the throttle. And is that going to... No, he's just going to get going again before people come round again. Got the 2 racing points, and that is very unfortunate for Steffi. Got too eager on the throttle on the exit of the corner. Does he stay third? But Grunty is going to be next, followed by Muddy and then Lukey. Did that Red Bull put them off? He was offline. Grunty stays 7th. Muddy, does he improve to 5th? He does. Lukey doesn't improve. He's on a 7th lap on his tyres, so that would have been very impressive. Milan is next. It's up by a 10, goes to 4th. Who was that behind him? I think that was the Williams of Magic Mark, who goes to 7th. Little Sparks is next, goes to 7th. And it is just, I think, Caesar Wizard, and he is down on his time, so we are finished. And it is ABE Draco that takes pole position, only just 14 hundredths ahead of Lukey. Lukey would still be happy with second. He's ahead of his championship rival, which he needs to beat, remember, to start closing the gap. But very good pole lap from Draco. It's been quick, all qualifying long. Definitely likes the conditions, or the track, or a bit of both. Takes the pole ahead of Lukey. Steffi in third. Milan also should be happy with that, a P4 and a Ferrari. Caesar Wizard 5th. 6th for Muddy Biscuit. 7th for Little Sparks. 8th Magic Mark. And 9th Grunty in the Racing Point. See if we can have a word with Draco. Draco, include your audio, please. And, well, very congratulations on your pole position. I believe that's your first pole since joining us. Yeah, so very well done. And you've been looking very quick all evening, I must say. Obviously, I think topped 1 and Q1 and Q2, I think.
Yeah.
Is that a combination of the track and the conditions, or just the conditions, or just the track? What is it? Or is that a surprise?
Honestly, I don't know. I was very quick. I didn't do any wet practice. But I felt very quick in the dry. I knew I could battle for pole, and then I saw wet, so I said, "Oh, I'm gonna do my best." And there you go. Yeah, managed to be quick in every session. So happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously different conditions here for the start of the race. It's almost surprising that we got blazing sunlight now.
Yeah.
Is Draco Little Sparks in disguise, says Grunty? Bob, I don't think so. They're different people. Yeah, so sunny conditions now. What's your strategy going ahead? You're not stuck on the hard tyres, are you?
Nah, I'm gonna. I know medium hard is very quick, so I'm probably gonna go for that. I've tried it out a lot, and yeah, that's the fastest I think. So I'm gonna go for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably one stop medium to hard is the best to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, key for you is to keep the lead at the start. I presume that's the plan.
Yeah. Well, I can see all the others starting on medium, 2 on hard, so I think with no one on soft, so it should be quite equal on the start. So yeah, I'm going to try and keep the lead, see how it goes.
Obviously, you've got Lukey alongside you. He's going for the championship pretty much. So he'll be eager to take the lead from you. I guess
Yeah.
he'll be an interesting test going down to turn 1.
Yeah, I think he's going to be very quick this race. He was very fast in quali, so have to be careful. Yeah, I think he's going to be very fast.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All the best, and maybe speak to you at the end.
I hope so. Compared to Britain, yeah. Hope I'll be back later.
Right, good luck.
Yeah, see ya.
There we go. Draco in the Williams, saying obviously the one-stop strategy, which I think a lot of people are just going to do. But it's interesting to see. At the moment, we've got Little Sparks, Magic Mark, Hudson, and Hardy on the hards. It's interesting to see Sparks and Mark do that because, as I mentioned, top 10. You know, if you're outside the top 10, you know, hard tyres maybe the way to go. But inside the top 10 is an interesting call. But yeah, as Draco mentioned, soft tyres not really the way to go around here. Mediums to hards if you can do it. Simple enough. I think it's just a one stop because it's just so difficult to overtake around here. Quick two stop could work if you're leading and pretty much in control, but it's very difficult to get control when you've got such a close grid. Let's see what Draco can do. I mean, Draco's quite soft hard. Can do soft hard, yeah, but again, it's like Silverstone last week. You need to get the softs to a decent lap so you can easily do hards from. And I mean, that's very difficult to do so. Let's take you through the grid of our 16 driver grid. So we have Alfie 22 on the medium tyres, starting from 16th in the Haas. 15th for Evo in the Mercedes. Obviously, we saw him crash through the middle sector. Well, I didn't see him. I saw the dot. So he'll be key to move forward. Obviously, haven't seen his pace yet, so we'll have to see what he can do from 15th place on the grid. 14th is the other Haas of Josh, also starting the medium tyres. 13th is Breezy, the lone Renault. Can he score some points for the Renault team? 12th is O'Hardy in the first of the AlphaTauris, followed by Hudson in the Red Bull. Obviously, everyone on fresh tyres, so again, outside the top 10, you don't get that advantage as it was raining in qualifying. Hudson 11th in the Red Bull. 10th is Mega Centurion, made it into 10th somehow. Obviously, you saw him crash through Q2. Made it into 10th though. 9th is Grunty in the Racing Point, ahead on or behind Magic Mark in the Williams. As I said, on the hard tyres, same as the Little Sparks ahead of him, also on the hards. They got to keep with basically the guys in front and hope to find themselves having an advantage when they eventually pit on a long first stint. Muddy Biscuit, championship leader in P6, I think will be relatively happy with that. I'd imagine his dry race pace will be better, and let's see what he can do. Can he continue the consistency that has made him be in this position? Top 5, Caesar Wizard, 5th in the Alfa Romeo, 4th for Milan, another one of the championship contenders in the Ferrari. 3rd is Steffi Uefi Gamer in the Red Bull. 2nd is Lukey, Muddy's closest championship rival as of this point. But there is Draco. We heard from him. Very eager and very pleased on his pole position. He looking to get a good start ahead of everyone. I'm not going to get a good camera angle out of this, am I? No, is the answer. Really want a better camera angle than this, but hey ho. We're all ready and gridded up. Alfie gets into the last spot in 16th. Yeah, we're not going to get a good camera angle out of this. All going to work with it. There we go. And we're going to get a start. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. That was a quick start, and away we go. I wasn't ready for that, but Lukey was ready, and he's got a very quick start ahead of Drake, and I think he's going to take the lead ahead down into turn 1. How are we going to get through here? There's 3 or 4 wide in the midfield. Timing pages all over the place, and I think we've all got through. Yes, we have. Very nice stuff from the drivers there as Lukey stays ahead. We've got the Ferrari of Milan trying to go on the outside of Draco through turn 2 and gets ahead of Draco. So the pole sitter goes to 3rd place. And a lovely start from F2. No one is round the wrong way, actually. Very clean start from everyone back there. And I'll try and keep up with everything as much as possible. So yeah, very, very clean start. Nicely done from everyone here. Sparks has dropped down a few places. Grunty's up 3. But Lukey takes the lead. As we all go filtering through. Lovely shot as they all go flying into the final sector. Very good, professional, clean start from F2. Not a single driver round through turn 1. And that turn 1 can cause so many problems, but we are through. But Lukey is away. The timing pages are just not working with me at all at the moment. Hopefully they'll sort themselves out. I was wrong though. Hardy was actually in trouble. Got damage on the first lap, and that's unfortunate for him. As people now settle down into their race, settle down into their rhythm. Yeah, Hardy, the only driver in the pits at the end of the first lap. Apart from that, we all seem to be quite close together. We've got Breezy, I think, all over the back of Magic Mark. Yeah, very good start. Not really dramatic, but a good professional league start, I guess you would say, for these guys. But looks to be already the front 3 are gapping. Oh, season winners round. Oh, that's right in front of everyone. Get out. Oof. Oh dear. Caesar Wizard. He's got to be careful. There's a house right in front of him. And what a shame. Just caught a slide by the looks of it through that flowy middle sector, and he drops to the rear of the field. He's very lucky. No one collected him. But Wizard drops back, and he's got a very unfortunate penalty. As Milan closing a little bit on Lukey. Top 3 are moved away a little bit ahead of Stefu Gamer. But in terms of the start, Grunty getting a very good start, up 4 places, although he is 2 seconds away from these top 4. I'm going to put it back to the tyres. Magic Mark highest of those on the hards at the moment. As you've got, is that Josh behind Little Sparks? Yes, it is. Josh really needs to find a way by Little Sparks. Yeah, I agree, Hippo. The 5 second was pretty harsh, but that's the game sometimes. It gets 10 seconds if it's just getting out of the way. But there you go. Now it seems the front 4 kind of pulling away. You got Milan sticking to the back of Lukey's gearbox, which is what he needs to do, and in fact he's right behind him. Would go other battles, but this is the battle for the lead, and you've got to stay within that DRS window, which he's going to get at the end of this lap. But he's got a good run out the last corner. DRS from Lukey to defend, none from Milan, interestingly enough. Stays in second as Steffi sticks with the back of Draco. And got Centurion also behind as Evo pits. Must have got a little bit of damage. Did he maybe clip Centurion on the way by? Either way, he's into the pits, and that is not going to be good for him because he has to go to mediums, and they won't last. So, as Milan is all over the back of Lukey, Milan looks like to have very good race pace here. Very good on the brakes into that chicane as well. You got Draco and Steffi right behind. Yeah, Evo's gonna struggle to get to the end of the race. I think we'll have to pit one more time. Safety car though can still bring him back in, and because the walls are so close, safety cars are a common thing, especially with the field being close. Grunty kind of sticking to a 1.7 gap behind these top 4. And you got Muddy. Centurion has Lukey, another lock-up as Milan goes very close to the inside wall. He's got a great exit at the last corner. Surely this is going to be him inside of turn 1. And Milan, I think, is going to take the lead. Is Lukey going to fight back on the exit, which you can, down to turn 3? But Milan's going to get the extra DRS down for turn 3, so Milan takes the lead ahead of Lukey. Now, can he pull away? Can he pull away from Lukey, as Hudson has got by Magic Mark, I think, on the edge of turn 1. So Hudson now the highest of those on the hards. They're dropping a little bit from the pack, but you kind of expect that to happen because the hards, as I mentioned earlier, they're very durable, but their pace, obviously compared to the medium yellow tyres, aren't as good. Yeah, there's one way of putting it, Hippo. Again, these top 4 locked nose to tail, and can Milan, he needs to get out of that DRS, but I don't think he can. Lukey's just sticking with him. Milan gets a very good exit at that last corner. I don't think Lukey's going to be close enough. Has to use ERS just to keep up with him. Well, these 4 kind of stuck in a little bit of a train. Grunty now has Muddy Biscuit and Mega Centurion caught up to the back of him. And he doesn't seem to be able to close the gap to the front 4, so he's now going to have to pay attention to the championship leader in the McLaren Muddy Biscuit, Centurion. They are 3 seconds ahead of the Red Bull and the Williams there. You can see going through turn 4. Both on the hards. As I mentioned before, as Hardy and Alfie are going side by side through to... Oh no, Alfie's dropped away. I didn't see him leave. That's a shame for Alfie. I'll try and get him back in once I have the time, which... No, my recent players aren't coming up, so I can't do that anyway. Hopefully he gets back in soon. Milan seems to be pulling away just a little bit ahead of Lukey, but is this Lukey just managing this? Bit of a lock up in the last corner. Yeah, P-Lop at the start of the season, in the off-season, what's going to happen in a few weeks. Well, not a few weeks, it's still a couple of months away for the new game 2021. In the off-season, we basically manage and see, who wants to, rejoin, so on and so forth. Then you're tested for pace. And pit for hards on lap 8 and go to the end. Yeah, and that seems about right, Easton. Yeah, hards are very doable around here. Similar to last week. Oh, there's a Renault way off into the corner. Did he hit the curb? Is that Breezy, the lone Renault tonight? Not having a good time. May have hit the curb of turn 6. He was way off in the infield. And he's dropped further away from the top 10 and any chance of points. Milan again, ever since he's taken the lead, he's just got a little bit too far away from Lukey. Still in the DRS, so that DRS can help Lukey along. Got 2 kind of separate battles going on. Steffi is now out of the second window, out of the DRS of Draco. And Grunty's now falling a little bit too far away, but he still would be happy with 5th. As Breezy has retired from the Grand Prix, and that's a shame. Called it in the evening, but he was a bit further back. Hudson is now gapping Magic Mark. Magic Mark's now falling into the clutches of Josh. The mediums will start to begin to wear out a little bit. This is where those on the hards can still push a little bit more. Steffi was out of the second window, now gone back into it. We are kind of at the poise at this moment with the front 4. When is When are the leaders going to pit? Who's going to blink first? And then when they pit is if they come out in traffic. For those that haven't pitted yet, can they then work their way through the traffic and not lose too much time to their competitors? Yeah, two separate battles going on. You got the front four, Milan leading, ahead of Lukey in second, Draco third, and then Steffi all in the same shot there, which is all good to see. And then you got this separate freeway battle for fifth. You got Grunty just ahead of Muddy Biscuit, who's just ahead of Centurion. Then you got Hudson, Magic Mark 8th and 9th. Magic Mark just ahead of Josh. Then you got Little Sparks, Caesar Wizard, Hardy, Evo and Alfie have had troublesome starts to this race. And if anything, Draco, after losing the lead, still in this battle. This is what happens sometimes. You're just kind of in a DRS train, and this is where you have to concentrate, not make too many mistakes. This was what you might see all week, to be honest, as Muddy Biscuit, whoa, ran the outside of the last corner. Here's Mega Centurion. He's going to have a run on the pair of them. Grunty's left again. That's why they're all over him. And that's a real shame for Grunty. He's had some connection problems all race. And hopefully he can get back in soon, and that is really such a shame for him. So Muddy and Centurion up into 5th and 6th places. Thought there was a battle going on, and well, Hudson's going to find a way by as well. Yeah, back to the leaders. Yeah, I agree, Hippo. Ever since he lost the lead, he's had a good few laps. He's, seems to me, Draco's more of a chance of overtaking Lukey than Lukey's overtaking Milan at the moment. It's kind of ebbing and flowing. And Milan kind of gaps a little bit, seems to get enough of a gap in the last corner, and he might actually be out of DRS. This would be key for Lukey and for Draco. Is Lukey still in that DRS? He is just in that DRS. Yeah, I agree. Milan is just controlling the pace. That's the or chilling. I mean, you could say chilling, but I don't think he's relaxed. That's for sure. You got to be, when you're in this situation, you can feel the pressure of the guys behind you. Let's look back. I mean, he is gapping them a little bit. He's being a rhythm. Yeah, but you can always sense that the cars are there, so he's definitely not relaxed, but he is in control. As they go through the middle sector, as Hippo mentioned in the chat, it's all flowing. If you make a mistake in the first corner, it then hampers for the rest. As something's happened to Little Sparks. He's been caught up behind the AI car of Grunty. Again, I would invite him back, but I've got an issue with the recent players. It's not coming up for me. Eyes the best, actually. Evening to you, Eyes. Hope you're doing well. Saying in the chat that Hudson has a good chance to win. As my timing pages just get destroyed. Yeah, he's actually keeping not too far away from these guys on the mediums. Always, oh, Draco! Oh, goodness me, must have caught the curb. Either way, oh, just in front of Muddy Biscuit. Comes back on, and that is such a shame for Draco all of a sudden. Just, I don't know whether he was on the throttle too eager, or just clipped the curb. Either way, he's now dropped into this battle for 4th place, dropped him out of the leaders. And that's all it takes. That is all it takes. One mistake and you're out of the running. Still good points for him though, but he'll be disappointed. On timing pages, please come back. Yeah, I agree. Was having a good stint. Well, that does for Lukey now. That pressure that he was on is now gone, and he can now focus forward to try and get the lead back ahead of Milan. Happened to Caesar. Caesar Wizard, he had a spin, I think lap 3 or 4 in the middle sector. Yeah, dropped himself out of the points, unfortunately. Yeah, spun in the early going. Did Caesar Wizard. So an 11th flow, still could get into the top 10. Let's go, we've got Draco recovering now. So yeah, he's gone away from his battle from the lead. And now he's in this battle for 4th with Muddy Biscuit and Centurion. Any PC leagues out there? I'm sure there is. I'm sure somebody in the chat would know, exact names of that. I know there are around. Not as many as Xbox or PS5, but there is definitely PC ones out there. Yeah, this is very similar to last week in as such you need to stay in the DRS train, and as Hippo says in the chat, Steffi's just out of it, he needs to get back himself in, and he does. ERS management, Lukey looking pretty good on ERS actually. Around the 50% range, you can save ERS quite easily because a lot of these corners just flow one after another. The only thing is, it's not a lot of heavy braking zones which save your ERS if you've been a bit too greedy on it. Yes, Draco is really keen to get back on it. Problem he's going to have is when he tries to overtake Mega Centurion. Centurion still is in DRS and Muddy Biscuit. It's so difficult, or maybe he's not, because he still get DRS, but Muddy Biscuit pits from 4th place. Easy odds to the end, I think. And yeah, because of the DRS, Draco's not going to make it by. So Muddy, does he come out in clean air? Easy hard tires to the end. Where's he going to come out? He's going to come out behind Caesar Wizard, who's yet to pit, but relatively clean air. Just has the Alpha ahead of him. And he would want to consolidate that 4th place. Yeah, Steffi is now out of the DRS. Maybe his tyres are starting to wear a little bit. Have a big lock-up from Lukey, and obviously if you're running the ABS, it's easy to lock up, and obviously lock-ups increase your tyre wear. As Milan pits, and Lukey decides to stay out, obviously thinking, right, I've now got clean air, now he's got to push. Yep, using a lot of ERS out of the last corner. So Milan pits. Does Milan going to come out in clean air? Yeah, so Lukey now has to push on his in-lap. As Draco is very, very close to Mega Centurion. This could be the chance for him. Decides not to, but he's all good. Milan came out with tons of clean air. This is good for him, but he's still got to push, because I reckon Lukey will be in this lap, and Lukey has used a lot of ERS. He's pushing, try and pit on the end of this lap and stay ahead of Milan. Meanwhile, Draco all over the back of Centurion, who now doesn't have... Oh, they're coming up behind the Haas car of Alfie, who's still in AI mode, and hopefully this doesn't cause any too much problems. This is the problem sometimes. And Centurion on the inside. Oh, and yes, it's braked right in front of Draco. He's not going to like that. He's going to pit, but the damage is going to cost him so much. Wow. As Lukey does pit. Where does he come out in front of Milan? There is Milan. Where is Lukey? And Steffi for that matter. Milan goes personal best in the last sector, and I think that'll just do enough to retake the lead. So yeah, Milan just does enough. Stay ahead of Lukey, so we resume where we were. Milan, Lukey and Steffi. So that was crucial for Milan. He got the purple last sector, his personal best. Maintain the lead. So Lukey, that's not what Lukey wanted, of course. And you got a feel for Draco as well. Could do nothing about that AI car. Centurion's still going. Yeah, he's the only one who hasn't pitted. Or in fact, both Alfa Romeos haven't pitted yet on their mediums. That'll be quite one. Yellow flag. That's the Haas car again. It's the issue when you run ghosting off, which we run it to try and make it realistic. But obviously, when you got an AI car of somebody that lagged out, can cause problems at a track like this, especially. As Milan is now behind Magic Mark, who's yet to pit. Milan should make this through. He's not using ERS, so he's just thinking, I'm just going to use DRS to get by, and he outbrakes Magic Mark, and Magic Mark's like saying, okay, I'll get you back on the exit. But Milan, with the fresher tyres, in front at turn 3. Milan is rapid. Milan is completely on it tonight. Looking for his first win of the season. He's yet to win. He's been relatively consistent in terms of the points. Just yet to win. He's had a second place in Bahrain and a third in Spain. Can he win his first race of the season? What Luke needs to do now, needs to clear Magic Mark right away. As you can see, Milan is just pulling away now. Ahead of the Williams. Another lockup for Lukey. And yeah, he's got to find a way past Magic Mark. There's still a bit of a gap. This will be a lunge through turn 1 if he doesn't get the good exit, which he does. Onto the wrong camera angle. This will be a lunge. He's not close enough. He's maybe thinking of the exit turn 3. Either way, you can see Mark struggling on these tyres. He's just running his own race. But here we go. The burst of ERS. Up the inside for turn 3. Magic Mark not making it easy. And Luke makes a little bit of contact. No damage, I don't think. Yeah, but I wouldn't have said elbows his way, but didn't. Obviously, there was a little bit of tyre rubbing, but he had to do it. He had to get by because Milan is out of DRS and up the road. Now Steffi's got to do the same. Hudson, meantime, did pit from his hard tyres and has come out ahead of Draco in 7th place on the faster tyre. So see what Hudson can do. I'd say personally probably can get to near, maybe overtake Muddy Biscuit. Or you can see Magic Mark really struggling, and yeah, he's into the pits now. Which gives Steffi a bit of DRS, but that's all he would give. As Centurion finally pits on his 19 lap mediums. So does this move Muddy into 4th? Yes, it does. So good stuff for Muddy Biscuit. Centurion there, just ahead of Hudson. Magic Mark will come out behind Little Sparks and Draco, and Little Sparks is right up the back of Draco. And Magic Mark has come out just behind, so Little Sparks sandwiching in the middle of the both of the Williams. Grunty with his disconnection unfortunately dropped to 10th. Still in solitary point though. Yeah. Well, he's on fresher hard Hippo, I guess. We head to lap 21. Milan in control at the moment, but we've seen already, as Draco has demonstrated, it can very easily go away. So he's still got to keep the concentration up. He's got to manage the pace. He's low on ERS, but Luki is only just above him on the percentage, and Steffi is just above on that. I think the people on the move now could be the two on the medium tyres, Little Sparks and Hudson. In fact, Little Sparks is all over Draco, was looking for the lunge. That would have been risky, to say the least. Yeah, it's these guys in the mediums now. So it's kind of role reversal here. Those that were on the hards, they were obviously slow at the beginning, and now they are reaping the benefits of the faster tyres. Try and move themselves back up through the field. I think if Hudson can get by Centurion, he can maybe challenge Muddy enough, but I think that'll be the highest he can get, because it's 8 seconds now to the front three. There's a yellow flag of what's going on here. That's Evo. Oh, Evo's dropped it in the chicane, or just before the chicane, so I wonder what's happened there. He was close. Oh, and he spun it again. Too warm tyres, or too hot of a tyres. He's been a bit eager. I don't think there's going to be any points for the Mercedes driver tonight, as Little Sparks closes in on Draco, and this should be easy enough. Outbreaks himself a little bit though. Can Draco get on the switchback? He does, and gets a lot better traction. Might be able to fight him on the outside of turn 3. Little Sparks though has the better tyres, and into 7th place. Such a shame for Draco. Obviously our pole sitter dropped it, and then got basically brake check from an AI. I think anyone could have done about that, as Evo has retired. So yeah, Hudson on these mediums can actually see. You can just see the McLaren ahead, 2 corners ahead. You can get by Mega Centurion. Oh, and nearly loses the car there. And get by Centurion, he can maybe have a go at Muddy. Comes the penalties. Not really a penalty track, although turn 5, I guess, it's probably the most difficult corner in terms of track limits. But we've only got 1 penalty so far, and that's the Little Sparks with 3 seconds. I just realised with Little Sparks, actually, he's got both Williams drivers right behind him, Draco and Magic Mark, stalking Little Sparks at the moment. Draco on the hards, but Magic Mark is going to be slightly quicker on these mediums. Meanwhile, at the front, Milan's got the gap up to over 2 seconds now, with 12 laps to go. Steffi is just on the edge of getting DRS ahead of Luki at the last corner. I don't think he's going to be close enough for a move, so I'll keep an eye on this. Despite the faster tyres, Little Sparks cannot move away from Draco. as Hudson might have a run in Centurion. I think it might be a bit too far back, possibly. Might get the exit out turn 1. Oh, yeah. Get back to Draco. Actually got a good run through turn 1. Go up to turn 1. Definitely shows the pace that Draco had. He'd be right up with the leaders, challenging them. Always, Spark's got a massive slide through turn 5, just managed to catch it. Because you need to be on concentration so much, is at this point you've done 24 laps, and that's when the mistakes come through, and there's the mistake from Little Sparks, and Draco's through, snaps it up, here comes Magic Mark, no! Spark just fends him off, but Draco says thank you very much. One mistake is all it takes. Good rhyme, actually. As Hudson, Centurion, and Centurion is actually caught or catching Muddy Biscuit. So this is now all for 4th place. So again, we've got these little groups of battles at the moment. Marker's got a very good run on Little Sparks. Can he get the exit of turn 1? No. Yeah, because you've been concentrating so long, it's at this point you've got 10 laps to go. Feels like you've been in a longer race than you actually have been in reality. This is where the mistakes come in, and you can see Mark very close up, right up on the brakes, and Little Sparks seems to be struggling the latter part of this race. Oh no, Draco ahead of another spin. Oh, I've been there. Oh, and he spun it again. Safety car. Oh. Safety car front wing. And that is going to really throw up this race. Centurion pits. Well, at least it's kept Draco in it because he's going to have to pit with no front wing. That's a weird safety car. Normally you get safety cars called well, safety cars not called for much more than that, but there we go. Well, soft tyres it is now for everyone, I'd imagine. Bill Sparks does pit for Sauce. Everyone should anyway. This is really gonna bunch everything up. In some ways, I guess the race kind of needed it. Not that it wasn't boring, of course, but it bunches everything up. We'll go again. I assume the leaders... Well, there's the safety car. I was waiting for the leader. I assume the leaders are gonna probably pit for softs. Another spin in that middle sector. So easy to do. Now, what are these guys gonna do? Because you'd be on track position, but you do Milan pits, Lukey pits, Steffi pits. So they're all in the same situation. I'd assume. What's Muddy Biscuit gonna do? What does he do? He pits, yes. Hudson does as well. It all go on to Sauce. Centurion, I don't think he's gonna pit. Or will he though? I mean, does he have the gap? He doesn't have the gap, so yeah, he's going to stay out. On the medium set, so he's going to be under pressure from Little Sparks and Magic Mark behind, both on fresh soft tyres, and these are fresh. No chance of them being used, because obviously they didn't use them in qualifying. So Hudson comes out 6th. Behind Centurion. Centurion's up to 5th, but he's, as I said, he's going to have 3 drivers on fresh softs right behind them. Fresh softs at this stage are going to be very, very quick. They should be okay to last, is the other thing, so no problem. So, safety car in this race. Bunches everything up, brings Draco back into it, Hardy, Grunty. Caesar Wizard hasn't pitted on hards, which is an interesting call. So we climbed all over the back of those mediums and softs. How many laps are we going to have behind this safety car? Definitely another one, because it normally waits until everyone has caught up. We still have Dracos in the middle sector. So I've got the House of Alfie as well, so there's at least one more lap. So we're going to have 6 laps, I think, behind this safety car. And this was always going to be a chance of a safety car. Caesar Wizard does pit to come off the hards. I think that was probably the correct thing to do. It does cost him trap position, but at least he's on the same strategy as everyone else. Not everyone else, but no, he wasn't going to get anywhere on those hard tyres. He might as well pit to see whether he can get any points. But this puts even more pressure on Milan, because Milan had a couple of seconds of gap, and I think he was monitoring it. You know, he was in control. Lukey was kind of in more pressure behind Steffi. And of course you've got Muddy Biscuit as well, who, you know, he was 8 seconds or so. He was way off the front 3, but would have been happy with 4th. Now what is he going to do? Is he going to move forward? You know, be aggressive and thinking, I can now get on the podium out of all this. And you've got Hudson, the Sparks as well, Magic Mile, Grunty back into this race. What safety car does is just brings those back into it. Is the safety car going to come in this lap? I would assume it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, lights are off on the safety car, so we're going to get under racing with a 6-lap kind of mini sprint, if you like, to the end of the race. When is Milan going to go? Got to wait till the safety car comes in. Still weaving the tyres. He's still got to gap him. And Luke's got to be very, very careful to not touch the Ferrari in behind. Nearly touches him. It's an instant penalty if you do. So he's watching Milan every move. This is a little bit interesting. Then Milan, off he goes, catches Lukey unawares, and Steffi's right up behind him. Lukey's under big pressure. Hudson is right up the back of Mega Centurion. They all go flying into turn 1. Centurion, oh, what's on the inside? The Alpha Towery, sorry, of Little Sparks. This nudged his way in ahead of Hudson. Hudson's been clipped and dives back up the inside of Magic Mark. It's all kicking off once again. But back to the lead as Milan stay in the lead. Is that Caesar Wizard and Hardy as well? What are you two doing through turn 5? Hardy just stays ahead of Caesar Wizard. And this as well, with the 6 laps left. Forget ERS management for a little bit. Everyone's going to be on full attack mode at this moment in point. But Milan keeps the lead. You saw Lukey was trying to keep with him. But Milan now pulling away, and he really wants to break that DRS window. A good restart for Milan in the end, even though it was a little bit sketchy in the last corner, I guess. As Hudson all up the back of Mega Centurion. Mega Centurion, remember, on the medium tyres. Inclined all over the back as Magic Mark and Grunty going side by side through turn 1. It's all kicking off. Hudson very close to Little Sparks. Oh, got a good exit through turn 2. Would be this would be a oh, don't you? Oh, he's going to go for it. Turn 5 on the inside. He's going aggressive. That was never going to work. The door was always going to close. Sparks maybe could have given a bit more room, but I guess he didn't expect Hudson to be on the inside there. I was sure that was going to end up worse than what it ended up being. Yeah, Centurion, I think, is going to do very well to stay in 5th place. Little Sparks does have that penalty, and that's going to hurt him a little bit. As a penalty for Grunty as well. Anybody with penalties is just going to drop to the back because of how close everyone is now. As Milan still has the lead ahead, ahead of Lukey. As DRS is now enabled. They're not going to get it down this front straight, and Hudson is still, not Hudson, Little Sparks is still looking on the back of Centurion. Get the exit. Going to get DRS in the next lap. There's Magic Mark and Grunty going side by side. I think it was a bump of wheels. Now Hardy is looking for, I don't know what's happening with Magic Mark. He's just slowed right down. Oh, he's probably clipped in something because he's got damage on his left hand side, so there was something happening there. What a shame for Mark on the podium last time out. No points, I think, for him. In fact, both Williams are outside the points now. What could have been for that team. Back to these front 4, and Magic Mark can have a 10-second penalty. That's the ones I don't like, because he's clearly, trying to stay out the way. He's got damage as well. As we head to the next lap, lap 32. Milan's going to stay just ahead of Lukey, who's just ahead of Steffi, and then you got Money Biscuit, then you got Mega Centurion, keeping these two back best he can. Again, Little Sparks is gaining. He's not going to get, he's going to go for the exit look around the outside of Centurion. They're going to work right around the outside. Oh, Centurion maybe cut across a little bit. The Sparks going to go around the outside. Going to make the lottery round through turn 3, but not going to work. As you got Grunty, Caesar Wizard and Draco going at it for 8th, 9th and 10th, and Draco is side by side with Caesar Wizard. Backs out of it though. It's all kicking off in like little groups. And Sparks still cannot find a way past Centurion. Centurion's doing a very good job here of keeping these two back. Sparks does have a penalty, so he's just trying to gain as much time as he can, try and minimise the damage. As Lukey was within half a second of Milan. Milan's still managing this perfectly at the moment. How long can he keep it up at this pressure? He's doing very well so far. As Little Sparks again, got barely any ERS left. Centurion trying to make that Alfa Romeo as wide as possible. As Little Sparks got caught on the curb, and here comes Hudson. This is the chance for Hudson. Sparks sees it, defends on the inside. Hudson going right round the outside of Little Sparks. They give each other just enough room, and Hudson is through. Again, like before, the little mistake from Sparks, and Hudson is through. Now, can he challenge Centurion? And Centurion doesn't have that luxury of a penalty, because Hudson doesn't have one. Back to the leaders again. Milan did seem to be gapping Lukey, but Lukey is now thinking, I've got to attack at this point because I'm running out of laps. He's got a couple of lengths on Steffi. And now 100% attack Milan. He's got a good exit at the last corner. This is going to be for the lead. And Milan just using a bit of enough to stay ahead. So Luki's going to try and get the exit out of turn 1. And he's going to go for the lead. This is going to be a good run. Going to be avalanche. Oof. That was close. Milan still just holds on to the lead. This is key win or key moment for Luki and Milan. They both need this win. They both need to gap points back to Muddy Biscuit, who they are beating at this moment, but a win compared to second, it's 7 points. But it's the feeling of that win. They both won it. They're both still in the championship fight. And we're going to have one more lap after this to decide. Of course, Steffi is there to pick up anything if anything happens. But if Luki can get a good run out the last corner, Milan's really struggling. Not liking this set of tyres, and Luki is completely dialed in as we head onto the last lap. Milan defending heavily up on the inside. Here goes Luki. Trying to go around the outside of turn 1. Runs a little bit deep, but gets a good exit and takes the lead away from Milan. What a move from Luki right around the outside of turn 1. And gets the gap ahead. And what a good decisive move from Luki. But now he's got to keep hold of it. And Milan chucks it into turn 5. And look how much he gained. This might not be over. There's not many overtaking spots left. And has Milan seen his first win slip away after managing it so well up until that last lap? We are on the last lap at the moment as Caesar Wizard has a spin at the back. But I think Luki's going to do enough here. It's all down to him. As long as he doesn't make a mistake in these fast 2 corners, I don't think Milan's going to have the run at the last corner to drag him to the line. But what a way to take it. Luki in the racing point comes out of the final corner and takes the win in Hungary ahead of Milan in second. Steffi Weffy third in the Red Bull. Muddy Biscuit still be happy with 4th place considering his qualifying. 5th for Mega Centurion. Mega Centurion actually held on to 5th, so very well done on those medium tyres. Ahead of Hudson, Hardy in 7th in Little Sparks. Draco 1,000th behind Little Sparks in 9th place. And then 10th, oh, I forgot who 10th was. Apologies, but there you go. And I think in terms of drama, in terms of dramatic races I've seen, it's not up there. But in terms of professional, of course, they did have its iffy moments, but in terms of good racing, there was definitely enough there to deserve a clap for F2. And Luki, what a move on that outside of turn 1. Decisive. And the safety car probably did it for Milan, because he was managing that gap before the safety car. It was about 2 seconds. Was it comfortable? But that's what happens in league racing. All of a sudden, it gets turned on its head. Gave Luka the opportunity, and he took it. He grabbed it. Has taken the race win ahead of Milan in second. Steffi was always there in P3. And, yeah, so they all deserve the podium. There we go. Muddy Biscuit in 4th. Centurion in 5th. From Hudson in 6th. O'Hardy in 7th. Lil Sparks 8th. Draco 9th. And Grunty did pick up the last point in 10th with Caesar Wizard in 11th. Alfie, Magic Mark, Evo, Josh and Breezy unfortunately DNF'd in that race. Food your audio, guys. If you can, please. Just got Luki, I think. And I can hear myself on the from somebody's mic. I can hear the stream from somebody, so if we could turn that down for a sec, please. Just need Lukey to join us, which he should in a bit. We can hear everyone. Milan and Steffi, could actually, yeah, Milan first. Could you give us 1, 2, kind of a little mic check? Sometimes the audio goes. Oh, wait, do again, sorry.
1, 2.
Steffi, you could do the same, please.
1, 2.
Chat, can you hear those two? Sometimes the audio goes, which is annoying. Hopefully it's fine. Come on, Lukey, stop being so shy. Yes, we can. It's all good. Great. I just need Lukey, and he's not joining me. Well, we'll carry on for now. Well, at the end of that race, let's hear from the top 3. We head to Steffi Weffy Gamer first in the Red Bull. So, Steffi, you've got to be very, very happy with that 3rd place. 2 3rd places in a row, actually. So you're in a very good run of form in that Red Bull.
Yeah.
Been in the points for a while. Yeah, Lukey's not here, Leo Weiston. That's why you can't hear him, because he's not here. He hasn't joined the party yet. But yeah, Steffi, always there with the leaders in like the pack in the front 4, especially from the first stint. Not close enough to get in amongst the top 2, but you were always there. Was there any point that you were close enough to make a move, or was it just a little bit too far out of reach?
I think I got close just before the pit stop on Lukey. I'm not too sure, but like I felt confident, but then I got a warning like a couple laps before. So then I was like, if I get a penalty, then it's probably going to ruin the whole race for me. So if I just stay where I am, I'm guaranteed a podium if there's no safety cars. And there was a safety car at the end, and then that actually turned out okay because we pulled away thanks to Milan. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously that safety car gave everyone an opportunity to, you know, potentially go for the win, and so on. But again, though, you've having a good run of form lately. That's your 4th podium since you've joined us. Joined us in China.
Yeah.
If I'm correct. Yeah. So 4th podium. He's settled in very nicely. Obviously, championship may be a little bit too far out of reach, but I guess every good result right now is good, and it sets yourself up for next season.
Mm.
Okay. Did you expect to be on the podium today with Hungary? Was it a track that you're good at?
Not really. I don't really like Hungary because it's like really technical and there's not a lot of runoff. So if you make a mistake, it's like really bad. Plus there's a couple curbs which like throw you off. So it's really annoying. So you have to like get it perfect every time. And if you don't, then you lose like probably like 2 seconds. But yeah, I was hoping to win today, but I'm just eager after France. So hopefully, what track's next?
Belgium next.
Belgium. I like Belgium. Hopefully I could get a win there.
Yeah, obviously another tricky track, another track you need to be kind of at one with your setup. You can't be guessing your setup. So I presume you'll do a lot of practice and preparation for Belgium.
Yeah.
All right. Well, best of luck for you next week. Maybe you can be on the podium once again. Okay, and yeah, I don't think Lukey's joining for some reason. He might be overcome with emotion or celebrating too hard, I guess. Because he normally joins, and for some reason he ain't. But oh well. So we head to 2nd place, FFR Milan, and in some ways I feel kind of sorry. Well, I do feel sorry for you because you seem to be managing that race perfectly ever since you took the lead in the first few laps ahead of Lukey. You seem to be managing the gap, just getting enough at the last corner and especially after when you pitted before the safety car, it seemed like you're holding like a 2-second gap. But as I mentioned to Steffi, that safety car just brought everybody back in and unfortunately gave Lukey the chance to take the lead and take the win away from you. You've still got to be happy with second though, because you've gained points, a little bit of points, but you gained points on Muddy Biscuit, championship leader currently. So obviously that fight is not over by any means. So you're still got to be happy with second. I know you should be slightly disappointed, but second's still good, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I would be happy with second, but seeing the circumstances and leading big part of the race, it's annoying to get second. But if you ask me before the race if I would be happy with second, I would say yeah, definitely. But yeah, the safety car ruined me. I was actually pulling away with the hards, and Steffi was pressuring Yuki, so that would even be better for me. But yeah, it's just annoying to get overtaken in the last lap, but it's still a podium, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I say that to myself a lot. I was like, if you said second to me before the race, I'll be like, yeah, I'll take that. But then, as you say, if you're leading for like 90% of it, then, or 95% of it, then it gets taken away. But I still think that, I mean, I mentioned like halfway through, you know, you could be winning your first race of the season. I still think it's there. You've been very consistent this season, which has put you in a good position to still challenge for the Drivers' Championship. You still think it's possible, right? It's not over by any means, is it?
Yeah, this wasn't particularly my best track, but I think this was my best chance so far in this season to get a win. We have some strong tracks ahead of me, so maybe next week already Belgium I'm good at, so we'll see what happens. A win would be really good, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, and of course you got Monza after Belgium as well, your team's technical home track, I guess, as well, so looking forward to that. But to Belgium first, obviously another tricky track. You need to be very confident going into it. You say it's a good track for you, so you're expecting to be near the front, qualifying in the race?
Yeah, as long as it's dry, I think I can have a chance, but in the wet, I don't like the wet. In quali, I had okay pace in the wet, but in the race, I don't have good pace in the wet. So if it's dry, I definitely have a chance. But Belgium is always a tricky one with the weather.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, but well done for second place. That is your third podium of the season. So equals your best result from Bahrain. So congratulations with that.
Cheers.
And don't worry, the win will come.
Hopefully.
Definitely, I'm sure of that. And obviously we were hoping to speak to Lukey, but for some reason he's not joining. I guess there's an issue or something there, but maybe he's overcome with emotion and doesn't want to speak. Hey ho. But yeah, well done to you two on your podium finishes.
Thanks.
And that's been the F2 Grand Prix of Hungary. Well, I was hoping that someone would join me, but it was perfectly fine by myself. My voice is slightly strained afterwards, but it was entertaining. Maybe not high end on the drama, but it was definitely a professional league race, especially that start. Obviously we had one person in the pits, but there was no one facing backwards, so that's good to see. So great stuff from F2, and they'll be back, as I mentioned several times, to the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, the Belgian Grand Prix, the Drivers' Circuit. Definitely a formidable place, unless you like it. So they'll be looking forward to that next week. As for Hungary this week, we have more races ahead of us. We got the F3 Championship tomorrow. Should be Alco Saints and Jamie24 taking you through the action of that one. I'll be back in the comms box on, well, that's the plan anyway, on Tuesday for the F5 division. Wednesday is F1, which I should be racing on that one. Blazer Guns and Hippo bring you the action, and then Thursday F4 with Musical Rocket and Mega Centurion take you through the action on Thursday. All 8 o'clock for those if you're interested in watching. But for now, until the next time, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you later.